to the MungalowCroonings show. Thank you, Yvonne. We can already see your comments. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You know, for anyone who follows me on my Facebook, I've been unwell for you know, some days. You know, just trying to, in fact, almost a week, and I'm still in a lot of pain. But we're trying to make sure that we do this show every week, come rain, come shine, even if I have to be propped up. So that's what's happening. Um, so I want to really appreciate everybody who is tuning in. I'm sure you can see on my face that I'm struggling a bit. So Ron will be sharing most of it, but we'll try. And I don't know what's going on with the lights. Okay. Yes, that's much better. So we're talking about sugar daddies, cougars, side chicks, and Ben10s. Now, someone sent a message to me saying, Abi used to say such and such edition, edition, and I used to enjoy it, but now you don't put edition anymore. You just put topic. You don't do it the way you used to do it before. I understand. Unfortunately, because it's getting bigger, so some of the organic things I used to be able to do on my show previously, those things no longer apply because, unfortunately, some things have to sort of be slaughtered on the altar of progress. So that edition thing is one of the things that go. Although, I mean, to be fair, because he said, I don't see why I can't just put edition. And it's true. Why can't I put edition? It's something that I will discuss with Ron. I'm sure a lot of you know I've got fibromyalgia, ME, and other things. And the last week has been quite tough, really, really tough. Um, it was just a lot of pain and exhaustion, you know, pain that makes you pass out sometimes. And I've been having problems with my eyes. I've been having tests. I even went for a test today again, another test today. But it seems like they said they'll be checking it every 3 months now, just to make sure that nothing bad happens with the eyes. So it's one of those things. So, anyways, what happened today? Went for the eye test. I've been referred to this new posh hospital. Even me, I was like, okay, you mean this one is a hospital, like a clinic? Yeah, was a hospital. I was like, hey, is this how the other half lives? I could get used to this, like the rooms were massive, air conditioning. It was just nice. So I was like, So of course I sat down and enjoyed myself because I was like, I better go. This is the life, and I want to live it. Another good news is I've finally gotten a carer to be coming to help, because I'm sure you guys know I struggle to do a lot of things by myself, which has made Pam, who is my friend, to almost become my carer. But this is going to be able to take a lot of stress off Pam, and we can just go back to being friends instead of, being, my friend who is my carer. So, yes, although I have to buy booties, they're called blue booties for the carer, because apparently I don't like people coming into my bedroom with shoes. So you can go around the house with shoes, but not my bedroom. But she comes into my bedroom. So yesterday was her first day, and I was like, "You're wearing shoes into my bedroom." And she was like, "Oh, I can't take my shoes off." I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, you can't be in my room." And she just stood there, and I was like, I didn't want to be like, "Get out," I've just told you I don't want shoes in my bedroom. And she was like, "Well, if you don't want shoes in your bedroom, then you have to buy me booties." I was like, "I didn't even know you were coming yesterday, because I wasn't told she was coming." So I was like, yeah, making it out like, oh, you were told and you didn't get these things ready. I was like, you're just telling me. So, we'll we'll have to arrange for it and all that. Anyways, it's one of those things. I try to get PAs, but apparently people who say that they're looking for work aren't really looking for work, because every person I offered the job didn't want it. I was like, okay, am I that difficult to work with? I don't know. Anyways, it's one of those things. So, but the week has been basically me being in bed, screaming in pain, crying, passing out, waking up, and just getting through. That's what it's been. That's what the entire um week has been. So I've not really done anything fantastic because I've been really ill. So, anyways, not to waste any more of your time, because we're now at 8:10. Um, we're going to be talking about sugar daddies, cougars, side chicks, and Ben 10s. Now, some people will be like, "What are Ben 10s?" Ben 10s are what cougars use or get. So, a cougar is an older lady. We already know what a sugar daddy is. A sugar daddy is usually an older man who is with a woman, not necessarily a younger woman, but a lady who is not his spouse or who is not his significant other. And then cougars are basically women who are older women who go out with younger men. Now, it doesn't have to be a married woman or a single woman. It's just older women. So it could be older single ladies, it could be older married ladies. And Ben 10s are usually the young guys that seem to enjoy and service and, love the company of older women. I'm, I'm smiling. I'm sorry, and I have a reason. So, without much ado, we're talking about this phenomenon of them coming on. Well, it's become a bigger thing in society now. More and more people are getting involved. More stories are coming out. We've heard about all the people that have been killed because side chicks killed sugar daddies, or side chicks are crying that sugar daddies want to take their property, or whatever, 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 whatever. So, anyways, without wasting much time, because I'm getting tired, I'm not going to lie. Ron, please, would you like to come on? And then I will talk very briefly with Ron, and then I will bring in Maymoon and Liz, who are already standing by. Wow, this is a hot topic. Hot, hot, hot. So, my beloved Ron. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for checking up on me. I have never seen a man worry the way you do. But thank you so much, because it shows me that I'm loved, I'm cared for, and I really appreciate that. Thank you all the way from Cape Town. Also want to say a big thank you to Chinimai, because she didn't only call and check after me, she actually bought me food, Nigerian food, jollof rice and yam pottage. It was the best thing ever. I couldn't get up, so it was delivered through my window, but at least I was able to eat and then get strength to get up. So I just want to say a big, massive thank you to Chini also. So, Ron, what do you think about today's topic?
Well, thanks for the intro. Uh, the one marrying two wives now.
No, I have said I'm not looking for husband. Stop talking. I have said it too.
But definitely, I have to worry now. You're a friend, so your well-being should be of great concern to me. In fact, not just me, my wife and I, too, we're really worried about it because after 2, 3 days, we couldn't speak to you. Nobody could reach you. Panic. So we didn't know you've been going through this sort of thing for a while. But like I keep saying, your best days are yet to come.
Thank
You-
you. 13 years. I told you, I've been dealing with this 13 years. So stop bugging.
It's better experience. It's one thing for you to say it. It's another thing for someone.
Okay, yes, because the first time you experienced it, you you almost passed out yourself.
I was really, really worried. But we thank God. We thank God. Uh, okay, now this topic, I'm sure I'm not going to offend anybody because
Just
it's
give your view now.
yeah,
Mm.
the this phenomenon it didn't start today. Uh, what we understand as sugar daddies and sugar mommies phenomenon has been around from before time, recorded time. Because what we know as sugar daddy back in the days, it used to be like rich men having concubines. That's outside their wives. They are legally married to a particular person, but they have concubines outside. Just like even King Solomon in the Bible. Not that it was right, it was wrong in the case of King Solomon. But I'm just giving you an example of what used to happen. It's not a new thing, and we've also had in the past. We've had in the past where rich, powerful women in society, and not necessarily queens per se, but we've always had noble women like women in the past, powerful women in society. Because this time, because I always laugh when feminists are saying they are trying to get women on board. Like even in Igbo cultures, we have powerful women who can stand with men, sitting and make decisions. So over time, we've had it's always been the case of the more powerful person having an opportunity to exercise his or her options. Yeah, I'll use exercise options. You are rich, you can take care of your basic family, then you decide that okay, let me speak from the man's perspective. Men by nature are polygamous, but that's by raw nature. When you look at they are genetically predisposed to being polygamous. So when you see society or religion or morals telling men to stick to one woman, it's a sacrifice. Either way you look at it, it's a sacrifice for men. And from the Christian point of view, it's part of that sacrifice where you offer your body to God or your body to Christ, to show obedience and reverence. But without those safety nets, without all those restriction, the man will fall back to his animalistic instincts to go around and sow his wild oats all over. That's why you have more women than men in the world. Then, then for men, there's this saying that once a man starts becoming richer, it's not all men, most men. They try to exercise their options by having extra fun, getting these young girls that will please them. Because for a man, the way man sees sex is like competition. Like, oh, I'm doing well, I've done and conquered in my house. Let me go and conquer and see what's out there and conquer more. That's why you see men dying in beds in hotel rooms. You've taken Viagra, you've taken all sorts of pills just to impress some girl you don't even know and you might never see again. And in the process, you just ejaculate your life out of this world and you're gone. So, what happened recently back in Nigeria about the sugar daddy and the side chick phenomenon, where a man left his house and decided to go and play outside. Till today, we are still investigating the case. We don't know what really happened. Now, in the case of women, remember, it's not all women that will get married. Some women will never get married. So it's not a rule that every female will get married because population-wide, the ratio is not favorable to women. So you have women who have worked hard, attained a certain level of success in the society, and they feel as though that okay, I really need to enjoy a young blood. I don't need to have all this money. Why will I go and spend it on somebody who is my mate or somebody who is older than me when I can get a young boy I can mold to my taste? So the era of this concept of being a cougar comes in. They get all these young muscular boys. I remember back days in Lagos, Saleko, when you drive there, you see all these old women in their 60s. When it's time for close of market, you see all these young boys driving their jeeps to come and pick them. Then you see them kissing them, and I'm like, is that not your mom? I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel when I see. when I see these things. And sometimes these people are so old that they are not standing straight. And you'll be like, oh God, I hope this guy doesn't go and break this human being, wherever it is that they are going to, you know. And it's one of those things, they happen. It's, I've also seen husbands that maybe because they are in pursuit of sugar babies, sugar girls, they've given their wives, go ahead, you say, you know what, don't harass me. There's money. Go and check your account. Go and find one small boy. Leave me alone now. You're harassing my life. You're policing me up and down. So
Okay.
those kind of things.
I
They
want to bring on Maymoon and Liz. I'm adding you on. Please, thank you for joining us. Maymoon and Liz. Okay, well, while they're setting up themselves, first of all, there are several fallacies I want to bring up. Number one, World Health Organization actually says that through statistics, so facts, because you love your facts,
yeah.
through facts and statistics, there are actually more men in the world than women. So this thing of there are more women in the world than men is not true. There are actually more men in the world than women.
Okay, give me
That is
the
a fact. It's something you can check. So that's number one fallacy that I'm breaking there. So they are not more women than men. So hey, God, oh, hey, we better marry anyone we can see, oh, because there are not enough men in the world. That's a big fat lie that they've been selling to women for a long time. It is not true. The statistics prove it. And there are many reasons as to why. Remember, a lot of people don't want girl children. So many times when pregnancies come up and they show that it's a girl, a lot of families make the decision to actually kill the babies, either in vitro or when they are born. So there has been a systemic decimation of the female population for a long time. And men have been feeding this fallacy of, oh, there are more men in the world. They are not. There are more women in the world. There are actually more men. So that's number one. Number two, cougars are not necessarily old women going with young men like that. I'm a cougar. I'm proudly so. But he will never Ron wants to cry. But every single guy that I've been with, I'm older than, they look older than me. In fact, when people find out, even when the guys find out, when they come to approach me and they find out my age, they want to scream. Like, how? How am I older than you? Look at your face, look at my face. I'm like, well, I take care of myself. What am I supposed to do? So it's not, oh, you see one old woman and one young guy. Sometimes the guy looks older than the lady, but she's actually older than him. So that concept of is on, that's another fallacy right there. So Mary Moon, I saw you smiling. Please join us. Sugar
let me
Daddies, Cougars, Side
let me
Chicks,
let me
Ben10.
let me clap for me. Finally.
A round of applause. Mary Moon, thank you for joining us. Forgive me if I don't have a lot of energy. I'm just not feeling too well. But I'm sure you're hearing what we've been talking about. You've been listening to us, right?
Yes, I have.
And so Sugar Daddies, Cougars, Side Chicks, and Ben10s. Ben10s again is younger men that go with older ladies. So like my Ben10s, Ron wants to cry. So you've heard all what Ron has got to say, all these things about, oh, don't break this old woman's waist. Please, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I actually was very surprised when you said the WHO statistic thing, and I had to check, and it actually is true. Men have a slight lead in
Thank you.
population over the women, and I need to do some research because it actually came to me as a surprise, but I think it's a good one. It's good to know. And well, I, for me right now, I don't hold strong opinions anymore about things. Well, for me of before, I would have told you, oh, I would have had strong opinions about this and that, but I really don't. And I really do think that people need to live their best lives. And we need to find ourselves as individuals and not always as what society has described or has set for us to be. Because this issue of age limiting or age categorizing in relationships, I think it should be, well, for me, maybe because I'm older, I don't really think it plays a huge factor in the relationship. I've seen a lot of older women who have very good. In fact, in my family, my aunt, my mom's older sister her husband is younger than her. You would never know. You would never know. My friend's mom is older than her dad, and until his death, honestly, the guy bossed her like crazy. But so I'm not really sure I have strong opinions in that regard. But men, Ron, you have the typical male go-to. I've heard that line a lot, and I think it's, I don't know if guys still,
Never.
maybe it just comes from a place of I don't know where it comes from, but guys usually have
Ron
that line
likes
a lot.
olden days. He likes 100 years ago kind of thing. He likes dead
Honestly,
people to take
I
it
think
to
it's
him
a
how to
safe.
live.
They try to analyze what they don't really understand instead of really just spending time to look at it for what it is. They will just slap one fast answer pap on it, and factory, it has to fit every one size fits all, that kind of thing. That's what I
He
think they
likes
do, Sha.
olden days people. Oh. Ah,
Not
this our
really.
Ron. He likes olden days people.
Not really a one size fits all person. Not really. Okay, let's look at it this way. Okay, you guys brought in a new dynamic to this.
Wait, is it true or not true that you like dead people telling you how to live?
Ah, can you imagine?
That's tradition now. Tradition is old, is dead people telling the living how to live, isn't it?
you
That's
know,
tradition.
that's why there's Old Testament and New Testament. You must show where you're coming from. I always show where you're coming from. I don't stick to it. I just show this is where we're coming from. That's the reason why I go back. Not necessarily. I don't hang on to everything now. If not, I forget 4 wives now. Abi, holding on to it now. So I'm all for one man, one wife, and all that. Now you guys have thrown in a new dynamic to this discussion. So I don't think the sugar daddy cougar concept has a lot more to do with age. Okay, will I say age or who is in a better advantage position? Okay, for instance, you used yourself as an example. You said you had, at the end of the day, if you guys eventually got married or you stayed in a stable relationship, it doesn't really count like that because when we look at the age difference, it's not that like, and who has the economic advantage between both of you? That's another thing we should look at because I've seen situations where the guy is actually 10 times young, 10 years younger and richer and sticks in the relationship. In that situation, how do I call the lady a cougar again? It's no longer a cougar now.
Let me explain. My first situation, I was 7 years older than him. I was in a better financial situation, but he looked much older than me. But I was
Okay.
7 years older than him. In my second situation, I was 11 years older than him,
Hmm.
looked older than me, but he was in a much more better financial situation. In fact, I was the pauper in the relationship. So how do you then call me the cougar when he was the one who was basically taking care of me? You see,
Because
and I 11 years older than,
you see
but
why
nobody believed us anytime we told people.
you see why it's
They're like,
difficult for
it's a lie.
you see why it's difficult for you to be labeled a cougar in that situation because
But I'm
he
still
was
the cougar now because I'm older than.
no, no, it doesn't work like that. No, no, no. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it's just
Okay.
about seniority. No, I think it has to be more of social seniority or economic seniority. Let's put it like that. Whoever has the upper hand, but in most cases, it's usually older people, right? That's why we associate age with it. But I think it has to do a lot more. We can only define it when the person who is economically advantaged, takes the lead in that direction.
Mabon, did you see how quickly his mouth changed? Because before he was talking about the woman who one elderly woman that went to carry young boy. And once it becomes a
Wait,
situation where you
wait,
debunk.
who knows that if I want to keep it up, I can. I'm like, if I want to keep up the argument, I can keep it up. But I'm just trying to be realistic.
Or you will
Yeah,
just lose. Because you can keep up the argument when you will lose.
I want to be fair here. I want to be fair here.
So
Let's be.
is it that okay? Well, why is the relationship, the definition of the relationship based on economics? Why is that a factor?
Because we are looking at it now. Because remember that the original term used to be cradle thief. Remember back then they used to call such people cradle thieves. That why are you chasing a small girl, or why are you chasing a small boy? Because you can have him or have her.
Mm-hmm.
That was the concept back then. But now we are now in a more realistic era where we know that okay, if we see this older woman, maybe 20, 10 years older than this guy, and they are sticking, and the guy is sticking like glue, and you investigate and find out that oh, she's the one making more, she's the rich lady, spoiling him with money. Then we can now say, okay, safely say, and remember, okay, fine, the cooker doesn't have to be 100 years old. It could be a 30-year-old person versus an 18-year-old person. It doesn't have to be 100 years old. But it's just who has the upper hand. And again, society usually like to frown upon because of
What?
society. In this situation, society is always against women in this
Mm.
scenario. People will gather to go and attend a wedding ceremony of an older Alaji versus a
Man.
15-year-old girl. But
Mm-hmm.
the situation is an abomination. So it's always going to be like that. It's like that across cultures. It's not just an African thing. It's across
Why
cultures.
is it an abomination though? Because I know many couples, like my parents' generation,
Yeah.
where the woman is older than the man.
Mhm.
And until when they grew older and maybe their kids are trying to find out about them, that's when they're like, eh? You mean mommy is older than daddy? Because it didn't matter. They loved each other, they wanted to be together, and that was that. I know people like that, that it is not 7 years, it's not 8 years, like 10 years difference, but the kids didn't even know until much later. And you also have to understand that even with this so-called sugar daddies and side chicks, do you know, let me bust your bubble, that there are also sugar daddies that are younger than their side chicks. Okay, hey, now look at the situation where in the second case where I was thinking I'm the cougar. What
Mhm.
if I was actually the side chick and he was my sugar daddy? Because he was earning more and he was taking care of me, not like he was paying my bills or anything, but of course, when he comes to visit, he'll buy me things, he'll take me out. He spends more money than I did because he made more. So, am I his side chick or am I his cougar?
All these
There you
terms,
go.
are they limited to relationships that are not, that are surface, not deep?
It was
Because
a
when we,
very deep relationship. It wasn't a surface relationship.
yes, I know. So do we get to call you a cougar in a real relationship? in a deep meaningful relationship. I mean, for somebody to be a side chick, I think they are considered surface relationships, things
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Really?
So
But they're side chicks of years old.
yes,
Illegal now.
but
Illegal
they are
now.
they are still the on the side, as in there's the main dish and then there's the side dish,
Yeah. Forbidden fruit.
the wife. Even though the side dish may be sweeter than the main dish, still the side dish, you
Uh-huh.
know. So I'm thinking maybe the things are for relationships that are not they are fleeting relationships, not really meaningful. Because when you now start talking about real feelings, I think all those terms go away.
But what
I
about
don't know.
side chicks that later on become second wives, things like that? They're side chicks now, but then they transition.
It does happen,
Well,
but it's rare.
no. For
Not
me,
rare.
because I am a Muslim, so for me, it's viewed as another relationship. If it is accordance to whatever you believe in, it's viewed as another, it's not a side relationship, it's a second relationship. Wait as the first one. But
Aha. So that's another way to look at it.
mm, so it's a second relationship.
I just see
Um,
that, well, yeah, I see it as this, as a forbidden passion. Uh, if the person is not married, like I keep saying, if the person is not married and playing around,
then you are dating, yes?
yeah, just dating, you're dating, and it's just about forbidden passion. Somebody just wants to, have that fun.
But forbidden passions,
Mm.
I think once in a while, because right now I tell my husband midlife crisis. So there are a lot of things that I do that that I ordinarily wouldn't have. So uh, if I were single at this time, or if it's, I probably would have engaged in some cougar, well, one of these activities that I never did, and I've missed out on somehow.
You're a
Like
fine girl. Stop rubbing our face. Noses in it. We already know.
I don't understand what that means.
You're a
Please
fine
ignore the man.
girl. Stop making us.
Okay, okay. What about when is a friends with benefit situation? It's a younger man and an older woman, but the younger man is financially more buoyant than the woman, so he has a stronger financial status. But is a friends with benefit situation that spans, over a lengthy period of time. So, and neither are married. So they're not married. So it's not a case of, okay, maybe there's a main dish somewhere or whatever. It's just two people hanging out, having fun, you know, getting all the benefits while still being friends. But the man happens to be younger and the woman happens to be older. What do we call that then?
Hey, Vaughn.
Does that really work? Friends with
Oh, yes,
benefits.
it does.
I've
Mhm.
seen a lot. I've lost,
I exactly.
I've lost good friends to friends with benefits. Like, I've lost friends that, you know what? Let's even call a spade a spade. You will never ever know what joins a man and a woman together. Never ever ever understand.
Did you say you've lost friends with friends with benefits?
Not in as in debt. Like, I've lost good friends that I thought what they were doing was wrong, and I was trying to, like, get married, stop doing this. I spoke to
Oh,
my mom.
really? You are one of those people.
I,
That have very strong opinions.
no, 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 no. I don't do it with single people. Like, I poked my nose into somebody else's business. I was like, can't.
You don't do it well. You don't do it anymore. I didn't get that.
I don't do it with single people. This
I don't
person,
do it with anybody.
no, this person is my friend.
Exactly.
Let me explain why it's dangerous for me. This person is my friend. He's always around me. My wife knows him. He comes to our house. If I leave the house, I'm telling my wife I'm going to see him, the person. So now imagine if whatever it is he's doing explodes in the open, what happens to me? I become
My dear, you carry your umbrella and hold
no,
cover your head.
no,
Every man
automatically
in kettle now.
Ah,
it doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, say, hey, birds of the same feather, your friend has been exposed. You know that kind
it
of thing.
the thing is that you can't escape that thing anyhow you do it. You can't escape it. If I want to do that to my husband, I will do it, knowing fully well that he has nothing to do with it. But
Ah,
I know life, he has nothing, but I will still give him heat.
you know
So
me,
it's your thing. You can do about it, Jerry.
I was
So
telling you about principle. I have a principle in my home. If I don't want my wife to insult me over a certain thing, because I'm very proud, I rather just avoid that wahala. I just avoid that thing that will cause disrespect. You understand? I rather just
so you let the friend go.
oh, I did because at the end of the day, it's just like I was being
Mm.
a prophet. Everything I told him in sequence happened in the exact same sequence that I warned him against. So in the end, it was like a normal thing. I said, no, this is not normal thing. I'm sorry, we cannot.
But you know, the fact is that you and your friends, I think it's maybe you. But me, for honestly, I wouldn't have said a word. Me, I would just
Oh, it's okay.
it's your thing.
This is the thing for me, right? If I have a married friend, none of my married friends have ever brought a significant extra
Mm-hmm.
around me. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
because they know that me and Tatafo
No, I won't.
so maybe that's why they don't come near me. But if a married friend came around and brought another person around, I would be like, dude, Maha no day. I'm not involved. I'm not going to lose my friendship with you, but I would rather you don't bring this around me because the day they will come and break your head, I don't
Exactly.
want to be involved. But I will
Exactly.
not tell my friend, don't do this. I'll just be like, hey, this thing that you're doing, you know that. Because especially
Exactly.
if it's a man that is
Exactly.
doing it, I'm like, women are like FBI. She will find out. She will catch you.
And you know
Exactly.
my own thing. What is that you are an adult, and I believe that you thought about it before you did it. So you really don't need me telling you this and that. You already and you actually took this decision. Not drunk, you are not incapacitated in any way. So why should I open? Like something similar happened recently. Um, there was a gathering within the Salah period where a friend brought a girl that and he's married. So, well, discussion came up and he asked me about the situation. And I know his wife. He's a Muslim, so it's different. I
Mhm.
know his wife. So I'm like, not so well. I've met her, I should say. But like I said, I can't tell you what to do, but I can only give you knowledge so that you can make these decisions yourself. Okay, this is this, consider that, pros and cons. Now you choose. That is as far as I will go, honestly. I will never ever say, I'll never say do this, do that, or don't do this. No, 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 no. Me, my hands are clean. Everybody, I will hands up and run away, I beg.
In
Don't.
that situation, you are not in danger now because it really, in that situation, you are free in the sense that
No,
they can't use wahala to meet you. You
In
are
this
your own.
particular situation, yes, but even if a close friend of mine, although it has never happened, tries to do something like that, I just will. I can't tell you don't do this.
Let me explain my
Very
own situation.
difficult.
Let me
Find it
explain my.
very. But anyway, guys are different because I think you guys, whether me, no matter how I am with in a girls group, I'm still an individual. There is no water that is washing all of us. No. When it's time for us to get up and go, we all have different markets we are going to. So it's kind of different.
In my
My
own,
own case is, oh, sorry, Ron. My own case is if the lady, if the married woman, okay, so when my friend is married to a guy, but is my friend, then she brought this guy, said, I want to marry you more. And I'm like, ah, congratulations, all well and good. Then I go to a party and I see her husband, and he is busy searching for the woman's tonsils with his tongue. Ah, I am picking picture. I'm a
I
snitch. I will snitch you.
won't go that far, but in my own situation, this is what was going on. We always hang out every weekend. We hang out every weekend. So you can imagine our spot where we hang out every other weekend. It was always showing up with the same girl. Every other weekend. It's like if we were missing and the whole world was looking for us, it's that spot they will find us. So just imagine he kept doing it more than 5 times. At some point, I was like, ah, okay, I thought this was just a thing, but what's going on? You're using your own problem to rub me in. Like, please sort this thing out.
It's got nothing to do with you.
And
Coming, coming.
eventually, it had something to do with me because the wife went to the house when she didn't
Did
see
Kido
her.
take my turn?
And that was exactly what I was afraid of.
Okay, take my turn. You take my turn.
Outlook. Like when people see me, I'm responsible in the sense that I have an outlook people look up to me. So I don't want to just because I'm trying to please somebody, I'll come and entangle myself over what I don't know. You understand? So I did what a good friend should do. I called him aside while she was not there. I said, "Ah, this thing, see where it's going to lead to. I'm not saying you should not, but you are not even being discreet about it. You're just being open as if the world is revolving around you. If this thing blows off, it's going to affect us all." He said, "Ah, don't worry, nothing." At the end of the day,
But if you had gone home and told your wife and said, ah, babes, this guy keeps showing up with this girl, oh, I don't know anything about it, and I've warned him.
women,
Just
women,
to let you know this is what's happening. Then I think you've absolved yourself in a way because the problem is you don't want disrespect, right? So you've gone and snitched to your wife, but you
like,
keep up because I. The thing with me is if the girl is my friend, girl code means I'm telling you. Now there are people that you would tell things and they'll tell you thank you, and they'll come back and use you to sub and abuse you. You want to destroy their relationship, blah 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 blah, for your own pocket. I don't care. I have told you my own. Because tomorrow, when the whole thing falls apart and the man that you are carrying on your head, like today's own gala, decides to show you Pepe, you will now remember me who came and told you, and you come and me, I'm the kind of person that I will
Close my
forgive,
door.
I will not forget. And I will be like, if I catch your husband on top of another woman, wallahi, I'm never telling you again.
it is not
But
even
that first time I would tell you.
it is not about you. Generally, Nigerian wives who live outside in diaspora, when they have a community or an enclave, CIA has nothing on them. Like they have a tight network. If this one catches you somewhere, within the next 1 minute, they've all known and your wife would know. She will show up. Do you understand? So me going to tell my wife is as good as me going to go tell his wife. I say, I see, you were your own man. You see, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I just wanted to minimize damage, the damage that will come
But
out.
you lost a good friend because that one is tough. Oh. If now look, and I might sound crazy here. If the guy is my friend and his wife is someone I don't really know, and he's now bringing extramura, I'll just be
I,
like, guy, please, this thing that you are doing, please, oh, the day they catch you, make sure you explain to your wife that I know nothing.
no.
You know, but I will not go and tell the wife because I'm not close to her. You understand? My loyalty sticks with the person I'm friends with.
exactly.
So I'll just be like, dude, but I won't say, oh, I'm going to stop being friends with you or anything. I'll just be like, don't bring her to my house. Don't use my house as rendezvous spots. I don't want to be involved that way. So if we meet outside and you bring her, no problem. But don't turn my house into your rendezvous spot or whatever. So the day your wife catches you, bash.
I think what really angered me was the way he handled it. Like when the whole thing blew up. I think that's what really made me very upset. Like, oh, I made efforts to avoid this. And when it happened, instead of you to even exclude me from the discussion, you were still finding ways to include me. Like, what's
Oh,
wrong
so
with
he was including you in the discussion that Ron
me?
knows.
You
Are you
know,
sure that guy is your friend? I don't think he's your friend, though.
no,
I'm sorry. I can't
actually,
laugh.
actually, he's terrified of his wife. Let's just call it spade a spade. He's terrified of his wife. So when I was not looking for a soft landing. I mean, I was not interested in pushing anybody's back. I just washed my hands off because I warned you. Not like I didn't. I warned you. I did what a good friend should do. I warned you.
And then he roped you in.
You still warned me again. After I warned you. So you see, it's dicey. Like it's really dicey. Nobody can really control. It's not the first friend I'm having doing that. You understand? I've got friends from the past who do that. It's no big deal. But it becomes a big deal when you and that person are close like this, both as individual and as uh, family unit. So you have to watch where you tread on. It's very
But I'm surprised he's terrified of his wife and he still has a girl every other weekend.
Exactly. He's not terrified though. He's not
don't,
terrified of her.
don't you know the golden rule of cheating? Cheating is more interesting and more desirable because of the adrenaline of doing adrenaline rush.
Adrenaline when they carry mortar and bust your brain.
Adrenaline. That's what makes the cheating fun because that's potential of being caught. That's what gives you. It's the sex and the adrenaline. Once you take off the adrenaline, just taking the whole. Not that he won't cheat, but it's not going to be fun. Not going to be fun. So it's more of adrenaline and other chemical compounds.
Oloju Kokoro.
In fact, it's like long throats.
Yes, now.
You know what? You know what I said with your statistics. Now that I've not checked it out, but now that you're saying women are more than men, very soon somebody is going to organize a third world war to balance it out again. Because that's how men became lesser in the first place. Wars. You wipe out the male population, then you start again. So I'm just being scared that somebody is going to start again.
I don't know about anybody organizing a war to balance out men being more than women because the systemic decimation of the female gender is still ongoing till now. Girl children are still being killed.
Yeah,
More female spouses are still being killed than men. So so many things that are decimating the female population are still ongoing. And but they try to sell this myth to women that, oh, you better hang on to any man because there aren't a lot of men out in the society. There are plenty. There are plenty men. So I thank God I've known this for at least 3 years that men were more than women. So when they go, men are not enough. You better find one and hang on to. I'm like, leave that thing. At least there are at least 10 that I can have. So don't worry about it. But the thing is, when we're going back to the topic of, sugar daddies and everything, looking at the dynamic of it all, because I do know, as I said, I do know people whose parents, they've had, you know, um, they've had their mother owning their dad, but their dad is the main breadwinner and that kind of thing. But he's younger than his wife. And I've actually know a couple that it was until they were in their 70s that it actually came out that the wife was older. They always did their birthdays in reverse. So for a long time, the husband would do his birthday in a big way, but the wife's birthday was always minimal. So it was like, oh, daddy is 50, mommy is another birthday. But meanwhile, mommy is 55. You understand? But it was always the dad's birthdays that way. So until I think, yes, I think when it was the mom's 70th birthday, that they had to like, okay, big party, and it was like, what? She's 70 and dad is 65 because we celebrated his 60th. Like, so it was very, very confusing for for everybody and the kids, because the kids also found out when they were doing the whole preparation and everything. So that whole cultural concept of, but you see, it makes more sense. Let me put out something controversial here. It makes more sense to actually marry a younger man than to marry an older man. And I'll tell you why. Because when we look at all the generations, let's look at 100 years from ago, because you like that 100 years thing. Most of the time, older men die and leave their wives widows for 20, 30 years. My dad is 10 years older than my mom. My mom's been a widow 22, 23 years now. Almost, she was married for 30 years. She's been a widow now almost for as long as she's been married. Because, well, an older man succumbs to our body starts to fight us when we grow older and all that. So my dad succumbs to older men problems. He wasn't that old, he was 59, but in 59 things start to happen to you, and if you don't take care of yourself, then of course it can kill you. But if my mom had been with a younger man, they most likely would still be alive together till now. Because women, technically, again, through facts and figures, live longer than men. Usually, men tend to die off earlier. So why not just marry a younger man, so that at least your age will even out in a way and you get to live longer? Then you go and marry an older man and then he dies off or he becomes ill, and you spend a lot of time of your marriage that should have been spent having fun, traveling, having a great time. You're not caring for this infirm person that you're constantly taking to hospital. They're constantly resuscitating him, this and that and that. All the money that you should be using to cruise, going to Niagara Falls and all that stuff, you're now using it to be taking care of one old papa and carrying him to the village and all that stuff. So I personally feel that there's no point in marrying an older man. It's like I'm just marrying a problem for the future. I'd rather marry a retirement plan. Someone, if marriage was my thing, is not. But if I were to get married, I'd rather marry a retirement plan person that we can retire together. So I don't know what your thoughts are.
Let me listen to Oiza first, and layout.
Hello?
Yeah. Let me come back to where I am. So I found what you were saying very funny.
Okay, why do you find it funny?
I'll just allow it
Because
to address the issue.
no. because it is I get the logic of it, and it's a very unique position, very unique point of view. But that is for the woman. It's perfect for the lady. But for the guy, it's not a very good deal for him, because I think he will want someone to take care of him as well in his old age. He wouldn't, and then biologically, it's we stop reproducing and they don't. So I think when you are looking at usually people come together, marriage basically for, or it has always been for the procreation point of view. But I found that logic very interesting. It's a very very fantastic.
Let me help with that. If now I'm 35 and let's say I'm 35 and I started dating 30-year-old. So we already know, okay, we want to be together. So by 35, 36, we get married. That's still a good 4 years to knock out children. So you see that children thing, don't said.
Okay, now.
And again, women get into their sexual self in their late 30s, 40s, into their 50s. So in fact, you get the best of the woman in that period when you're also in your prime.
Not sexually, but not procreatively.
Yes, sexually, because you've done the children thing. You've done the children thing. You've knocked it out of the way. Then you now are like, let's have a great time swinging off the branches, doing everything you want to do. And remember, this woman is still going to live longer than you, technically. And she will still be stronger than you, technically. So even though she's older than you, because again, remember us women, when we know that we are with a younger man, we're not going to let ourselves go. We're going to be like every youth elixir, everything, knocking it down, going to the gym because we want to, number one, you want to keep the guy's eye on you.
Which is quite stressful.
You're always on fleek. So it's a win-win situation for the guy, because the guy is like, number one, fronting like, guy, look at me, look at what I'm rolling with, man. I'm rolling with, like, it works. It completely.
But the thing is that when you start having them kids, especially when you have them at a later age, you pack on the age comes down on you heavy, with each birth. Yeah, it is. That's why you see when people.
I don't have children, but from the people that I not everyone, but I have seen older mothers who are just cool with their kids. Like, and in fact, the way an older parent parents their kid is very different. There's a lot of maturity. There's a lot of.
No, I'm not talking about. I mean, like, I mean more like looks. I'm talking into the looks. Like, if you see a lady who had her kids in her teens, she looks way younger than those of us who had our kids in our 30s. And because when I was 28, I got married at 28. I didn't have my first child till like 34. But when I was 28, people thought I was 18. But as soon as I had the first child, everybody was like, whoa, what happened to you?
You started again.
Who? Me?
What are you saying?
Oh, it's like rubbing this our fine girl thing in our noses, in our fine girl.
If you won't allow me talk and drink water and drop cup, okay. I didn't say anything like that. All I'm saying is that when you have a kid in your later age, it kind of piles on. But if you see my friends who had kids, they have the flat tummy, they have the whole body kind of thing, and they did it young, they forgot about it when their bodies were still strong. So I guess I totally like this whole marrying a younger guy thing. Honestly, I can't even fault the logic, but I know that the guys, imagine that a guy bringing an older lady, maybe like 10 years older to his mom, I want to marry. Hey, the woman would just
The mother would just faint. That was one of
she
the
would
things.
just go to the market square, just off. What did I do wrong? Who is that person? Which market woman did I step on? Please forgive
That's
me.
one of the reasons why I am the guy that, like, I didn't even look at that. I didn't even think, because for me, I was having fun. I was having a great time. I had already known as of that time that I was no longer interested in getting married. I just wanted to be with someone. I just wanted to be loved. That was it. So I was being loved. I was being cared for. I was getting all my needs met. I didn't need that extra thing of marriage, but I knew that for him it was going to be a necessity, because being with family and all that stuff. So I knew that at a point in time that relationship was going to end. So, and it was freeing for me in a way, because since I knew it was going to end and I was getting all my needs met, I did not have all that hang-ups of, where, what are we? Are we but pencils in the hands of God and all that stuff? I didn't have any of that. It was a brand new day. Me and my dude, we're having fun. We're having a great time. I'm happy. I'm good. And when it ended, I was like, well, I already knew it was going to end, and that was that. I didn't have all that emotional crying and all that stuff that you see in the movies. I didn't have any of that, because, hey,
Honestly,
so it was
this
very
position is what
free.
I'm trying to get a lot of my friends to get to. I'm like, breathe air, live life.
Mm.
Leave this whole thing. Live life, breathe air, please.
Why
Ah,
not?
don't get it.
Sorry, Rod, before you go, because again, when you look at women who are with
Are
older
you
men,
going?
there's always this whole thing of, hey, he's going to propose. Hey, what are we doing? Oh, 3 months. We've been together 3 months. Oh, we've been together 6 months. Has he introduced me to his friends, to his family? Yeah, I didn't have any of that. Didn't care. Ron, you wanted to say something. Yeah, yeah, you're like,
I've not said anything since. So let me just say what I have to say. Luckily for me, is I said the tough parts. I just couldn't say. So that I don't offend those people. The thing is, I like what you said. Most of these things you said, well, maybe in La La Land they are more acceptable, but in reality, it's not just going to work. I like the part that you brought out, the biological part of it. Men get better with age. Women don't get better with age, especially when it comes with internal biology. I'll explain it. It is
How do
true
men
that,
get better with age? How do men get better with age?
yeah, I'm trying to explain it. How to break it down.
Okay.
A woman, now she was saying something about somebody in her 40s giving birth and
you should
getting
be
nice.
grateful that I was busy screaming with pain to answer you.
Wait. It is true that there are some women who give birth in their 40s and look good and all that. But my sister, it's hard work. They didn't just look good after giving birth at 40. I know a lot of them, they go to gym, they eat well, they have nice diet and all that, but that's aside. We're talking about nature here. The danger age for a woman to conceive is between her period of puberty till 35. Once you hit 35,
Not puberty, not puberty.
I'm not, I'm just giving biology. I'm not saying somebody should conceive at puberty. That's not. I'm just giving you the opening window. I'm not saying somebody should
The,
go and
the the opening window is not at puberty. It should be in her late teens. She should start puberty maybe like 9, 10. So pu- maybe let's
well,
put it like 16 or
you-
18 to 35.
our legal
What?
age here is 18.
Okay,
Legal,
so let's put 18.
let's put it 18. Let's say from 18 to 35 is the opening window for a lady. Once you hit 35, your chances become slimmer for conception. I'm not saying they don't conceive, they do conceive, but it's slimmer than somebody who is much younger. A guy can keep impregnating 3, 4 women per day for the next 70 years. Nothing will stop him. until he dies or until he's not capable of performing such duty.
Big fat
Okay, so
lie.
sorry. Let me stop you there a bit. Just pause.
You guys,
Small.
when you guys were,
Just,
I didn't stop you guys.
just
So okay.
yes, because we didn't take so long, and then it
You guys,
wasn't it wasn't
2 minutes,
okay.
2 minutes.
Sorry, please. Just small, just a little pause. Okay, the thing is that your sperm's quality count and everything declines the same
Abio,
way
this
our eggs
70.
decline. Number two, the organ itself, your prostate and all those things, we inflame the same way, which is a declination of the organ itself. So your use of your organ, it does not increase, really. It
At
actually
all.
reduces. So,
Wait,
and
wait.
then I don't understand this thing about looks. We keep saying, yes, I may have aged faster in my 30s and so, but I think I look better now than I did then. If you ask me,
We
I
And
look
even
better
out
now.
in our 40s. In our 40s, we
Exactly.
even out.
So I'm not really sure
But
those.
men with their
I
bellies
agree with
and
you, but I'm just saying that your points are very easy to poke holes into.
no, but don't use,
I'm just,
don't use yourself as an example. You know you're a scientific case study. Okay? So let's drop your aside.
I didn't hear
Let's
that. You said what?
know you're a scientific case study. You don't know how you keep getting younger. Anyway, but I don't want to talk much
the
about it.
women in our generation. If you look at our generation of women, they all look amazing.
About it. So I don't want to say it. So back to reality.
Ah,
Back to reality. People are
you
making
see,
me laugh.
people that watch this show, they will go and wait outside your house and gather stone for you.
I'll don't join your portals and I'll get to the point. No problem. You guys are setting me up. So, okay, biologically, it's not viable. It's just not viable. Secondly, the whole purpose of that kind of relationship or marriage is to have kids and raise family. You cannot successfully raise efficiently. I'm not saying successfully, efficiently. People that done it have gotten away with it, but on a general note, you can't effectively, efficiently raise families. You
With
understand?
what?
The man is expected to die first, then the wife takes over, like that, not the
Who,
other way
who,
around.
who
Oh,
wrote
please,
that
let's
law?
not do expect. Let's not do that, please. How about
No, who wrote that law? Who wrote the expectation? A man is expected to die, then his wife will not be. Hey, God. Women are this suffer head thing, eh?
Also,
Continue.
the guys are suffering now. The guy hits 45 before the guy even gets, so people have given him high blood pressure, gray hair,
Who
everything.
gave him high blood pressure? Hey, God.
In a
Please, people who are watching, can you please join us because
French,
eh. Hmm.
you guys are giving us even with all this stress. Somehow we manage to live up to 70, 60, we manage. And that's why you are free to boast that women can live up to 100 and be strong. Because you guys
Hey.
know what, yes, now, because you guys know
So a
exactly what,
woman go. So your life is hard. A woman goes through. In fact, somebody I read somewhere where it said that women are vampires. They are witches and they are vampires because they're the only people who bleed every month for 5 days and don't die.
you
If
guys get,
you guys were to have a period just once a year, you will
or you
make
get,
it a major event.
or you guys get new blood cells.
What?
You get new blood cells after the bleeding.
Which blood cells? Where is it coming from?
Are you not regenerating? Uh-huh. Blood
Uh-huh.
is, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. You guys are getting fresh blood. We are not.
So, so
Uh-huh.
excuse me, you're not getting fresh blood in the food you eat and everything. You balance. A woman will come and put food in front of you. You will eat. You will be watching TV. She's giving you snacks and everything. All of that. You're not serious. You go into an office, you can sit down and you talk and talk and talk, and you are there with, and she's there running around tiny children, running after them, cleaning up, doing this, cleaning the house, making sure everything is okay, blah blah blah, and then you will now go and die in the name of, oh, it is expected that I die, and then she takes her, and then she will now have to spend the rest of her life, and she's supposed to be using to enjoy herself, to be trying to set up whatever. And most of the time, especially African men, they don't do their wills, they don't do their, they don't structure their families properly, they don't do everything, and then all the extramurals that are gonna have children outside, they will now come on the day of the funeral. The poor woman who is like, hey, imagine the thing that two people are supposed to do is now become one person, now come with extra problem that she has to deal with again. And you're telling me that please, why is my mood? So, because she's the one that has your time. I'm in too much pain to be able to argue with you today.
When I saw that, I was so excited.
Then how come I deal with your ass? What do you mean? Which one is please, oh, anyone watching us and you want to join it, because I need help, because I'm struggling with pain right now, but I need help. So anyone who can come and join us and help me fight Ron.
So realistically, it's not about the order at which it should happen is that the man sets it sets the. It's always better for the woman to be around, even if
So,
always.
okay, that's good, because you've always talked about, oh, and there can be two captains in a ship, and the man is the head and he's the one who is solely responsible. But now you are saying that it is better that the woman outlives the man because she
Like,
has better organizational skills.
what are you faulting in the statement? Is there any dispute? No, like really, what's your argument?
No,
I
the
mean,
argument is that all your arguments about how important a man is actually
every,
moot, because you
every
just use your own mouth to talk about the importance of a woman.
listen, every parent has a function. I keep mentioning this. A father has a function, a woman has a function, a mother has a function. They have functions, but they are not equal in authority. We have a captain and we
But
have a
then Mr. Authority dies, and guess who has to take care of everything else?
in the navy and the ship. If the captain dies, not the executive officer. Not the executive officer.
But if you are saying that it is an acceptable trend that the captain dies, and
Yeah,
then the vice captain takes over, and
because
it is preferable, then what use is the captain in the first place?
the
Because
use
since
of
the vice captain can do the job and do it well.
leadership is to show leadership and to mentor.
Let's
Mentor.
not go into this one, because you use your own mouth to kill your own arguments.
I'm still in order. I'm still in order. So it's always good like that. Let's not feel as though that both parents are equally useful. Okay, no one is.
Which is why my argument about marrying a younger man is so much better, because both parents will be around to take care of the kids. So this whole expectation of it is the man is expected to die early and the woman is taking over. That's because, excuse me, I'm not going into a marriage. If I were to ever go into a marriage, I wouldn't want to go into a marriage to be left for 20 years by myself
Okay,
to
see, the
take care
solution
of.
is
I'm not even doing it.
people. If you want us to live longer, give us space. Give us breathing space.
Eh? So it is not our fault.
Yes, just let us breathe. By the time we breathe, we will die together at 100 years old.
I'm
Give
not
us
holding anybody's throat, though.
don't nag at us. Don't give us wahala. Just cook our food. Leave it
You
for us.
know men nag too, right?
Like I said, there are exceptions to every rule. It's true. It's true. There are men.
So men that nag are exceptions.
Yeah, it's not expect. It's not a masculine trait for you to be nagging.
Really? Nagging
Yeah,
is not a masculine. So nagging is a feminine trait.
a feminine trait. A man who comes to the wife is
Please,
minding her business. Let me.
please, whoever is watching, can you please jump on this link and
Hold on.
let's talk, please. Because can you hear this dude? Nagging is a feminine trait.
Not a masculine trait. Why would a man
Hey.
want? Why would a man want to come home to his quiet wife and come and start complaining and ranting over nothing? Does it make sense?
But men come home and complain and rant all the time.
Masculine traits. I told you it's not normal. They
No,
do
but
it, but it's normal.
okay, wait. A man comes home. Why is the house like this? Why isn't my food ready? Why is it fish again? I was expecting meat. Isn't that all nagging?
Wait, hold on. No. If I gave you money to buy goat meat, and you ended up going to buy fish, are you not looking for trouble?
Isn't there a reason why I did not buy goat? Maybe because goat was too expensive and your money did not cover it, or there was no goats. So instead of me coming back home and putting your money on a plate for you to eat, I bought fish instead. So instead of going,
Live long.
there's no what happened to goats? They're like, hey, I gave you money. What's the point of me giving you money if you're not going to go and do this? You men, you nag. You
How do you
nag.
expect to live long with all this wahala you are just bringing up? I'm just saying that the lifespan of a man has been cut short because of these women nagging and all that. If
Please
not
don't let me laugh. I'm too
another layer to the whole scenario, what do you want us to do now? I gave you money, go and buy this. I gave you specific instructions with money. You ended up,
specific instructions with money. Did you give the market specific instructions too?
are you not the one to tell me what you're going to buy? Then I'll give you the money.
But what I'm saying is, what if you get to the market as per specific instructions and you don't find goats
Let me tell you
and you
what a
find fish
let me
and
tell you
she
what
calls you, but because you're in a meeting, you've switched off your phone or you put it on silent and she needs to leave the market so she can get home in time to cook. Because if she doesn't get home and cook your food in time, that will be another nagging.
let's put it in a nicer way. A woman with sense who is a peaceful woman will, as soon as he sees him at the driver, like, I tried to call you, but your phone was switched off. You were not picking your calls. Don't worry, tomorrow I'll get you your chicken or your goat. Just manage this. It's presentation, it's understanding how you present the market.
So it's always the woman that has to know and learn how to present properly. The man doesn't know how to go, babe, it's fish. I thought it was goat. My dear, there was no goat, so I bought fish. Thank you. At least we have something to eat. Thank you. You have done well. No presentation. So men don't need presentation skills. It's only women that need presentation skills.
This life, I don't know how we God just have mercy on men. Have mercy on us. I don't know how we are going to survive this life like this.
Hey, no, I'm asking you a fundamental question that you've not been able to answer me yet.
You
So
know,
men don't need presentation skills. It is always women. It's always
I,
women who have to bend down. They are the ones who always have to stoop. They're always the ones who have to find a way to finagle their voices and their mannerisms and everything, because men are just overgrown babies that, you always have to make sure that they don't cry
I think
and put their pacifier in their mouth.
earlier. The
Is
issue
that
was that
it?
the issue
You're
was
not doing your men folk any favors, though.
okay. Now this thing is simple. If a woman, I told you that marriage is not compulsory for everybody. It's not compulsory.
Definitely, it's not compulsory for everybody,
Now,
which is what I've been trying to tell you for a long time, and you've been refusing to listen.
as an independent woman with your own United Nations rights, it's okay. Don't get married. Date somebody. Don't enter the covenant of marriage. It's not going to work. It's simple. It's like you're looking for trouble by even going to go and marry somebody. You're the one looking for trouble. If you know you cannot submit to a man cannot be submitted to, don't even try and enter that covenant. That has always been my position. Marriage is
If the
submission.
man is the one that can't submit, uncle, the woman can submit, but the man can't submit. Does he have any business being married then?
Sorry, submit to you as I don't understand.
Oh, didn't you read it in the Bible that submit one to another? So the
Uh,
man, Oh, it's there. Oh, that's the man, because you know you like to quote Bible for me, so I'm quoting it for you. So if
Please
the man says he cannot submit because he's proud, I'm a man, I cannot submit. Does he have any business being married then?
complete the passage. Now you bring the scripture now. I'm just waiting for you.
Eh?
One another for what?
I can't remember the rest.
Because it doesn't favor you.
No,
And maybe
no,
it's
no. I don't think I don't
not
remember the rest. Say it, say it. All of
now.
the rest.
Now, Kupol Abi. Uh, and that uncle where you don't like.
No. Complete it. Complete it. I have Efe. Efe, can you please put on your mic and your video? Because if you don't, then I can't add you on. So either please put on both, and then I'll be able to add you. And please join this conversation because I'm about to bite somebody through this phone.
The Bible
Efe,
commands a man to love
Sha,
his.
it's written somewhere about submitting one to another, isn't it?
Yes,
Um,
now but it's body now, submitting your bodies together now. The man
but
owns the woman
somehow,
owns
but
the body,
somehow you.
the wife owns the body, the husband owns the wife's body. That's why they are married. Part of the contract. He owns you, you own him.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying, because he said if a woman is not ready to submit, she has no business being married. But then I'm saying the same thing goes for the man. If he's not ready to submit, he has
If
no
a woman
business being married.
leadership of a husband, why on earth? In fact, I don't even get it. Why would you even take that risky step?
I'm
You
coming.
got
I'm sending a message to Efe. Oh, he's
oh,
gone.
you're gonna submit to somebody that you cannot even tolerate. That's why even when I see single people, I'm like, listen, if you know the guy, it's not somebody you can respect. Please don't bother. It's not going to. People are going to have a wrong.
Why
You
would you
just
even be wasting your time being with someone that you don't respect?
don't do it.
I can't waste my time being with someone who doesn't respect me.
I'm not even talking about respecting you. I'm talking about you even respecting the person to submit to that person.
No, it's a two-way thing. If I'm
Ah,
respecting you, but you don't respect me, I have no business with you.
I won't go to his own way. I'm talking about you as a person. You look at this guy and you feel he no reach where I respect. Please don't do that.
But what I'm saying is, if I respect a guy and he's not respecting me, my respect dies. Because I'm sorry, I'm not going to waste my respect. Do you know how important my respect is? Do you know how hard earned it is for
You
me to
should
then be wasting it on you and you can't even respect me back? Nah, deuces, man.
you should figure that out before you go to the altar or traditional
I have no intention of going to the altar. Yeah, this is your altar thing. Leave me alone.
or the traditional. No, come on. I know that. I'm woke now. I know that white wedding thing. I get it. I'm just saying, wherever you before you go get married, you need to sort out all those rough
Not
edges.
doing it. I love the baby girl life too much.
Because, well, will I say it's yeah.
But you see, I want to ask you a question. Why is it that society has cheated women? Oh, society has cheated women. Because going back to the topic, we're talking about sugar daddies and cougars and side chicks and everything. And it's very because for a lot of people, when they think sugar daddies, they're always thinking older men, younger girls. Because well, older men will have more money and then younger girls. But think about it, there are some men who are older, but it's actually the woman that supports them. They're older men, they are older men. But due to maybe being lazy or whatever, I mean, we've seen cases of it where you're like, why are you with this guy? And the
Like,
girl is the one that is working, she's hustling, she's doing all the stuff, and she's basically supporting this guy. But this guy has a wife at home. She's a side chick. But somehow, in some warped world, she's the one still funding. And most of the time, the side chick doesn't know that she's a side chick. She actually thinks she's the main. She thinks she's the main male, so she's supporting her man. That's how it comes in her head. What do you call that kind of relationship? Because the man, what,
If you're not married and you're with an older guy, you're not married to the person. I think it would be foolish of you to assume anything.
sorry about that. That's my alarm. It's
Oh,
telling me
sorry.
for my medication.
It would be foolish of you to assume anything without. It's the marriage certificate that really provides that sort of security. You can't just wake up and assume. Just can't assume. It's too risky.
I don't
Uh,
understand. Can you repeat that again?
you can't just assume that you are the main dish when you're not married. And it's true. I get it that there are some married men who secretly go marry their side chick, a second wife. But you're not the main dish. You're not the main dish. That's
But that's the thing. There are many women. I mean, when you go on social media, you see so many stories of, I thought I was the only one, this, that, only to find out that he told me, oh, he was going to the village to go and tell his parents about us, only to find out that he actually went to the village to go and marry somebody else. And we've been together 6 years. And his entire family knows us. His friends know, like they like we live together, we do everything and all that stuff. So where did he like my I think was it 2 weeks ago I talked about my boyfriend back in uni who was dating three other girls apart from me, and I had been introduced to his family as the girl he wanted to get married to, until I went to his house. Well, I was going past his house and I saw that he had arrived from a trip that he told me he was going for. Meanwhile, he had told me he was going for a trip because he wanted me not to show up, so he could be free to deal with the other girls. And I got there and I saw rice and dodo, and I was happy that I was going to eat. But I ended up in a cupboard, and I missed by the hairs of my chin a bit down from one of his side chicks. Now, in my mind, I was the main chick because I had been introduced to his family as the
pretty.
girl he wanted to get married to. All the plans and everything were there.
Did he invite
Sorry, come close to the mic. I can't hear you.
Did he invite you to the house?
Yes, he brought his mom and his younger brother to see me at uni, and then also took me to their house.
Can I repeat the question again?
Yeah.
On the day you caught him, did he invite you to the house?
Oh, I needed to be invited to his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am
Were
so
you
funny.
invited? I'm just asking a WAEC question. Were you
I
invited?
was not invited. I did not
You
know
were
I
not
needed to be
invited.
invited.
What pushed you to go and see him when did you not take it?
Ah. Ah.
He did not invite
God,
you.
don't make me laugh. You know I'm in pain. Don't make me laugh. God. I refuse. I have sworn to myself today that I refuse to let my temperature rise because of you.
Hey, the guy was even nice to create timetable for all of you. And
Eh?
yes, now he created timetable for all four of you now. So you said he was dating three others.
Three other girls.
Plus you four.
Hey, to
So he
flop
said
one.
he created a roster, a duty roster, for all of you. And he
Mm.
gave you a specific slot. He was even nice to give you a slot. And
Ooh.
he decided to violate the arrangement. Because now you get two heads, Abby.
I don't even know why I'm laughing because I feel like carrying this kind of what is this? Hot dogs and banging your head.
The thing is, I keep saying it. Until I can only
So,
see, I can
so
only see.
okay. So wait. By your premise, it means that if I had married him, by your premise, if
Uh-huh.
I had married him
Uh-huh.
and I told him, oh, I need to go somewhere for work, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to be away for a week,
yeah.
and then
That's
we
you now.
finish,
You.
and then we finish earlier. So we finish a couple of days earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I pick up my phone to tell him, "Hey, babes, we finished early, so I'm on my way home." But I'm calling him. His phone is he's not picking his phone because he's busy canoodling with the
Mm-hmm.
extramural, right?
What year was this?
Wait, wait,
What
but
year was,
because he had,
what year was this?
what year was what?
This commotion.
Oh no, this was when I was in uni.
Okay.
No, but I'm asking you a question that by your premise, what you're
Yeah.
saying is if I had gone ahead and married this guy, right? So from uni, I closed my eyes and I'm like, well, it's my fault. He didn't invite me, I went, so I'll still go ahead with the marriage. And I
Uh-huh.
married him, right? And then I tell him, at work, I need to go away for a week to go and do some work. So I'm leaving Monday, I'll be back on Sunday. But by Wednesday, we finish and wrap up everything. So I pick up the phone and I call my husband and say, to tell him, hey, we finished on time. So instead of me just hanging about here, I'm coming home. But because he's busy canoodling with his extramural that he has brought to our house because, well, wifey is away. Um, so because I can't get him, are
Mm-hmm.
you saying that I should sit down at the hotel and wait till I get him to let him know that I'm coming home?
Okay, wait.
Since let me not arrive home before I'm invited.
Okay, sorry. Before I answer the question, who is
Uh,
paying for the accommodation where you are?
my
Oh,
office, my
I just,
office.
your office is paying, not you.
Mm.
So why can you not stay and enjoy your office money?
Ah, my office knows that we finished now, so they're not paying again.
They're not paying again.
And now
And
because we finished.
it so happens that it's that phone call you made. That's the one your husband did not pick. You could not send him SMS.
Ah. How will I? So if he doesn't look at his phone, I will not be sitting down till
Ah, maybe
he
he's
does.
busy that time now, handling his
Ah, he's
business.
busy now. He's busy. He's busy. Parachuking. What is
When
not his wife?
he's drinking cold water, I can now view the phone and say, ah, wow, first lady, don't they call? Oh, what's going on? And then
First
you
lady.
message. You see how to avoid trouble. Well, on a more serious note, let me say this in a so I don't sound as if I'm conniving.
Ah, no, don't worry. They will come for you.
On a more serious note, it is this simple. Um,
Where is
you
our
know,
Tubs now?
the day we were discussing cheating, I told you that cheating does not occur until the person involved is caught,
Mm.
and I explained why it's so. They are very, 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 very happy wives at home who don't even have a clue of what's going on outside because the man, in showing that maximum respect, has managed to erase all the tracks that was tracing back to his filth. You understand? And he's doing it because he cares about the woman's emotion. He knows how
Hmm.
the woman will feel when
If
she.
he cared, he wouldn't cheat. If he truly cared.
Are you
Because
trying
if
to
we use
understand?
the same premise, then a woman can cheat as long as she's not caught because she cares about the man's emotions.
The man did not know, right?
Hmm. So then
And
when he finds out, the same way he expects the woman to be like,
same way a man is fathering children that he did not conceive, that he did not father, he did not sire. You just pack somebody's children to my house. I'm training 6 children and none of them are mine. Right?
but the same way that he's having children outside and the woman doesn't know.
That one does not concern you now. You're not training those
How
children.
does it not concern her? Isn't it part of the money that the two of them are working together into that home that he's
Uh,
using to go and
no, see, and I don't want to sound like I'm even justifying this nonsense. I'm not justifying it. I'm just giving logical explanations. Wait,
and I'm giving logical
wait.
explanations too.
Let me give a disclaimer now before they say another. I am not justifying it. I'm just giving I'm giving logical responses to illogical situations. Okay? The man who has kids outside is capable of taking care of the kids. He made the decision to use his money to take care of those kids. It is money, right? Now we are talking about somebody who brought other people's children to my house. I roofed the children, clothed the children, schooled, sent them to school, and fed those kids. It's not the same thing.
Excuse me, I just want to ask. In marriages, at least in contemporary marriages, most times the two couples bring in an income, they bring it together and they put it in an account.
Not
So
on.
unless that man has another job somewhere else where he's making money that the wife doesn't know, it's from the money that is supposed to go into their house that he's using to train the kids he has outside. He might bring those children and say, "Oh, that is my brother's kid or my nephew or whatever." But meanwhile, they're his kids that he's using part of her money to take care of his kids outside that she knows nothing about. So if that's the case, then how is it then different from she bringing in kids of her own into the house and her money and his money going into their training? It's the same thing.
Okay. Can I ask you? Let me ask you a very. It might sound funny. Do you actually believe in the concept of joint accounts? Like in 2021, do you believe it?
Well, it's what I grew up with. My parents had joint accounts. So
About
um,
2021, do you believe it?
I believe that a couple should have an account which they put in a certain amount,
Good.
agreed amount for the upkeep of the house.
But you do realize that, as a general rule, men are not supposed to allow while he's even alive, self, not maybe when he's dead. While men, okay, now these are my policies. One, every man should have a will or a way to present to a way to take care of situation when he's gone, right?
Mhm.
Two, for the protection of the woman and the family, the man should declare a certain amount as his earning. And that declaration is what he will be putting in the joint account. It doesn't mean that that's all he makes. Well, for there to be peace in the home. Okay. Now, I know of many, many, many people. I have many friends who have joint accounts. In fact, I know many people who operate different joint accounts. And at the end of the day, he says I'm making 50 naira from work. In reality, maybe 70 or 80. But they make sure that that 15 naira enters that joint account as they agreed.
No,
Extra
no,
money.
that's what I said, that they agree on a certain amount of money to go into an account that is a joint account for the upkeep of the
Good.
house.
Now,
But
if
they both know that they earn more than that money that is being
now
put
let's go
in.
by that logic. If the wife already knows that he earns more than what goes into the joint account, obviously she monitors the joint account. So there's no way this man will secretly be siphoning money from the joint account to go and take care of outside kids. It's not
No,
possible.
there are men who will be like, when they're putting out a budget, they will budget in their kids from outside in the name of, oh, my sister's son. Same thing. Oh yeah, who are the people from your
You're
own
lying.
family that you're
I'm not saying
budgeting?
you're lying. I'm not saying you're lying. It's possible. What you said is true. It's possible, very plausible.
Mhm.
But at the same time, in most cases, they don't factor it into their joint just for peace
You can't
sake.
say most. That's not true. Because if that was true, then a lot of women won't be upset about,
Women
money
will
that
be
comes.
upset over anything. This has nothing to do with what will trigger them. Anything will trigger a woman. Yeah, he's
Okay.
frowning, smiling the way he used to smile. Ah, honey, why did you touch me like this in bed? What did I do? Ah, you are cheating. This is not the way you used to touch me before. You know, he's saying,
But if the woman also comes and says, "Oh, honey, let's try this new move. Where did you learn it? You are cheating."
no, we only do that when we're tired.
Oh, so women are the irrational ones. Men only do it because,
No, it's not irrational. It's just a way to control things. I can't be
I
telling you
for
that
women to do it to control things.
I
So
tell
we
you
are
I have
not
that means
controlling
I'm not
things.
if I tell you I have a headache, it means I'm not a man. So the only way to blow you off is to create a diversion.
How does you mean saying you've got a headache mean you're not a man?
Abi, you can never be a man and you never have.
Men don't have headaches. Is that what you're saying?
Men don't cry. Men don't have emotion. Men don't do this. All these things we know men have, but society has made it to look like we don't have.
But we continue to repeat bad rhetorics in the name of
no,
we
the
know
rhetoric
bad
favoring us.
things.
Who told this bad? It's favoring us now. So why would we change what is what?
How is it favoring you to say that men don't have headaches, men don't have emotions, men don't cry?
So that you don't use it to bother us.
Oh, but that is why there's a high rate of men committing suicide because
No,
they are overwhelmed.
From nagging.
Single men are killing themselves from nagging.
Who? Single men. Who? Even single men are being nagged at. Single men. Single men.
Where did I meet this Neanderthal?
Single men are being nagged. Yeah. They're making it look as if the world is rosy.
I'm not saying the world is rosy. In fact, you are the one who's coming up with this weird thing of, oh, this is how men are, this is how women are, and if you do anything other than that, you're not a man. How can you say men don't cry, men don't have emotions, men don't have headaches? Yeah. That's how a man will be having headache. Instead of him to say I have a headache, you'll be going, oh, men don't have headache. Meanwhile, he's having a brain tumor. Sure.
You know what?
So men don't fall sick too. Men don't fall ill. They don't fall ill. Men don't fall ill too.
We're not supposed to fall ill now. Why are we supposed to?
Oh, men are not supposed.
Yes,
you don't want to fight me up tonight. You lie. You lie.
What do you want children to say that my dad is not strong? No, it's just that it's all masculine traits. Like you're just trying to show.
There's nothing like masculine traits. You're human.
I know. It's exhibition of strength. You're just trying to show that okay, this family and the family support the pillar of the family.
Pillar that will then drop dead because of all these crazy notions he carries around.
That comes from nagging. I've told you before.
No, it doesn't come from nagging. It comes from the crazy notions that he carries around. He has a headache, but no, I'm not going to say I have a headache because, well, if I say I have a headache, then I'm not a man. So then the tumor in his head is growing bigger and bigger and bigger, but he's being a man and refusing to tell anybody he has a headache.
You know the best way to keep a man till 100 years. The best way to go about it. 1, don't nag him. 2, don't disrespect him. 3, just allow there to be peace in the house, no matter what. The guy will be 200 years old. This is why the death rate of men.
Why do I need a decrepit 100 years old man?
No, because the death rate is becoming too high. You people don't let me. Okay, why will a man go and have sugar babies outside when he has somebody who is like pampering him and making him feel cool?
What the lady that came earlier said, longer throats, ojukokoro. That's why nothing is ever enough. But it is so interesting how women are called the weaker sex, but we can steadily stay without sex. It doesn't bother us as much as it bothers you. We can stay without sex. We are not running around looking for someone to make us feel good. We can deal with a lot of crap that our partners do and deal with it and still continue taking care of the kids and doing all of that, and we don't go around going, oh, I'm being stressed, blah 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 blah. We can do all of that, but somehow, God help a man's ego is hurt. The big baby suddenly has to find someone to stroke it for him.
No, do you believe what I just said? We're not built the same way. I know you always try to look for ways to make men and women the same, but we're not.
It's not matter. This is the thing. We're both human.
Yes.
Right? Yes. We both can get our emotions hurt. We all have emotions, men, women. all have emotions. We
Yeah.
all go through things. So to now be like, oh, you make out like women are this fragile, can't deal with anything, and yet half the stuff that we cope with, you couldn't even take 10 minutes of it. And yet somehow women are the weakest sex.
Wait, is
How?
it our fault? Wait, is it our fault?
It's the fault of men
Yeah,
like you to
yeah.
perpetuate this
Wait, hold on.
crazy notion of what
Almighty,
being a man.
the great Almighty who created the whole universe came and told us, do whatever you like. But you see this tree, maybe it's a grapefruit or apple. I don't know what it was, but you see this tree, do not touch this tree of knowledge. You can eat every other thing. As soon as the guy left, it's not even up to 1 hour, not even up to 1 hour. They came to talk
Ah,
to
they wrote
woman.
the time too.
I'm just saying. Not even
Eh,
up to an hour. They came. Who did they come to meet? Woman. Who offended God? Woman.
who
That's
wrote? Who are the people that wrote? Because again, men gathered that wrote this thing. Yes, under the influence of God and all
ah,
that. They came
ah.
and wrote it, and of course, who are they going? Would they ever put themselves responsible? And
No,
even when Abraham went to go and carry extra mura outside, the slave girl, when they wrote it in the Bible, how did they write it? It was his wife that brought the girl. It's never the man's fault. It's always the woman's fault.
you have to remember that Abraham was like a don back then. He was like a head of a very large household. So it is possible that it happened that way. There's every possibility it happened that way.
That it happens which way?
That they brought meat for him.
That his wife went and brought somebody for him.
You remember why she did it? She didn't do it because she felt like doing it. She did it for a purpose. See?
Which woman in her right mind will go and carry her
Many,
servant? Mm-mm.
many.
Wait, so
You read
go
about the
and
old woman culture.
she will go and carry her servants to give to her husband. Somebody that is saying, ma, sir, will not be sleeping with her husband. Come on now. It's not true. At least you go and look for one smallie outside that is not under her, that has been serving her, calling her madam, then sharing the same husband. Nah, come on.
Did you
We
follow
don't
that
do
series?
that. We don't do that.
Did you follow that series, Spartacus, while they were trying to elaborate about the old ancient Roman culture, where they had made handmaids, inner court maids, like maids. When they call them maids, they have bedroom maids, they have servant maids, they have the
But
one.
that's the thing, the bedroom maid already, you know that okay, maybe that's part. So she's not your her role is different. She's not the one that you call and say, yeah, come and sweep here, come and do this. Someone that you're ordering up and down, that is your servant that does, then you now be like, yeah, climb my husband's bed. Yeah,
They order
lie.
bedroom maids around.
Lie. Me,
They
I'm not
order.
I don't want to create problem of I'm disputing anything inside the Bible, oh, but me, I just know that if it
You need
was
to make
women that wrote
you need
it,
to make
the story would be different.
you need to make peace with Uncle Paul. I'm telling you, you need to make peace with Uncle Paul quickly.
I have me, Uncle Paul should stay in his lane.
I know that that's where this problem is coming from. You need to make peace with Uncle Paul. I don't know what it needs to do.
I don't know. Well, we had just one person. I don't know what happened, and unfortunately, I don't. I must apologize. I'm sure you've been seeing me go off and on because I'm being hit by pain
Mm.
in some really bad way. But it's unfortunate that we didn't get a lot of people to join, and even our tops didn't come to join us today.
It's in Lagos.
Uh yeah, well, I know, but
I think it's
I still thought that he
network.
would join us and that kind of thing. And unfortunately, I couldn't even do a lot of the promo that I normally would do. So maybe that's part of the reason why we didn't have so many people. But you know what? I've enjoyed our convo. I've enjoyed, even though you've been trying to bait me and everything. But you see, just like
No,
how
it's Diano is
just
not
I
me.
poke holes. You can poke holes in all your theories, all these
It's
your
Diano is not me. You are the one setting me up.
we're not setting you up. You're the one who's making absolute statements, and we're just taking pics and jabbing holes in them. Well, I want to say a big massive thank you to Yvonne. Thank you for your message.
Was she on?
Thank you to no, she just left a message on Facebook. Also want to say thank you to what's her name again? Momeni?
May Moon, but is she wrote May Moon. Or
Okay,
is
Maymoon. Yeah, Maymoon, because I wanted to be sure that I said her name right. Maymoon. Liz came on, but then she left. And then there was a iPhone that came on, also left. If it came, also left. Unfortunately, couldn't get them on. But just want to say thank you to everyone who's watching, everyone who's been part of it. Really, really appreciate you. And thank you so much, Ron, for joining in and just being your usual self. So I'm hoping that by next week I'll be in a much better place. But till we do this again, thank you so much and really, really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, do everything when you're on Facebook and also on YouTube. Until we do this again, take
old
care
one is
and
premiered already?
huh?
The old one is already being premiered.
Oh yes, and we have our old the one
The
we
new
did last week is out for your preview. So please make sure you link onto that. But till we do this again, take care and God bless. Bye.